Hey, what is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be looking over the event details for Nico Minoru's Sister Grimm event. I have crunched all the numbers, and actually it does look surprisingly free-to-play accessible for once. And of course, some people don't like when I say free-to-play accessible. What I mean is that, if you can complete this event without spending, is what I really mean to say. Whether or not you can clear it yourself, that's going to depend on your roster. And actually, what I've noticed in this event is really going to be dependent on, quite heavily actually, the gear tier of your X-Men character. So if that's a problem for you, then you may struggle a little bit in this event. We're going to go through all of the ways that you can get points for this and, some of the easier ways to clear this. So without... Oh, wait, no, we're not doing that anymore. So let's go boil this down. I screwed it up. We'll do better next time. Okay. I'm really trying to get nailed down this whole intro thing and, use a pun. I've been trying to, do different things, and it didn't really go over that well this time, but that's okay. I'll do better. That's probably because I'm actually recording this on Twitch, and sometimes when I record this offline, I have an intro speech prepared, and so it's easier for me to follow. This time I did not, so it kind of just came out that way. So we have the Sister Grimm event milestone. And I have to say, they did a really, despite the problems with Rogue and all of that, they did a really good job in showing us the numbers for this event beforehand. I'm really happy for that. So we don't need to wait and see this in game. So you may have seen this from the blog post on Friday. They have all this stuff here. And so I've crunched all of this down into a nice, easy spreadsheet. But I do have the photos over here because since this is the photos of the rewards. Because if you can't see, at least as of recording this video, it's not in game, so you can't really see that there. This is Milestone 1, this is Milestone 2, and this is Milestone 3. And we'll get back to this anyways later when it's more relevant to that certain section. So let's start off here with the Sister Grimm milestone. This is Milestone 1. This is the main milestone that you're going to need to do if you want to clear the event. And so the way that I've lined this up, and this is a 7-day milestone starting on Tuesday at store reset time. Total points required for this milestone is 106,000. Now, you might see here that milestone points required minus the login. There's a login calendar. Maybe I should make that more clear. Calendar. And so that's 98,000 because you're getting 8,000 points over login days for this. So assuming everyone's doing that, then realistically what you need to get is about 98,000 because everyone's going to get that 8. The milestone points required for Nico's staff, which is really important for the A-Force of Nature event, is 49,500. This is roughly almost halfway in the milestone, which is pretty accessible. That's going to give you the 10,000 points. Just to really quickly reiterate that part, you've probably seen me pull up this before. This is basically my subtotal for the A-Force of Nature event. This is the 10,000 points that you're going to get from Nico Minoru's staff, and that's similar to the Captain Marvel helmet and the Jessica Jones jacket. And so we've kind of tallied up now where we're going to be, and we're awfully close to clearing this full milestone completely without spending. If you took advantage of the Sunday Blitz bug, then you might even be significantly closer. I basically subtotaled this up to be about 2,200 points away from clearing the entire milestone without spending. So that's quite something. So this is just with the information that we have right now. If there's new stuff to come out, some one-core offers, things like that, that might bring that number even closer down. So that'll be really interesting to see how that kind of shapes up. But back to the Sister Grimm event. There is a total of 180 Nico Minoru shards up for grabs, and that's 4-star. And this is, like I said, available for people without spending. And this is pretty good, too, because the last one where we had 4-star that was kind of easily accessible was probably Morbius. I think the Morbius milestones did have 4-star available free-to-play without spending, and that was good. Total amount of A-Force emblems in this milestone is 1,302. However, there also is the staff, which is worth 10,000, so really it's 11,302. So add 10k on top of that. You're going to get some points for this main milestone for battling in war and battling raid battles with X-Men. I will tell you right now that the war battles will help, but it's not a huge portion of the milestone. So I'm largely going to be ignoring the A-Force portion, but I did do some examples down below here of how much points that you could get. But in a nutshell, because you have 7 days, that means you're going to have 3 different war battles. If you did 10 war attacks every war for 3 wars, you're going to get about 13,500 points towards the milestone, which is pretty good. So, you know, that's like a portion of what you need towards that, to this 98,000 goal. It's not a lot, but it's, you know, not insignificant either. But if you had a full 4-man A-Force team, and I find this funny because Nico Minoru is the 4th member of A-Force, so you're not exactly going to have Nico Minoru for this. But let's say you spent and bought Nico Minoru, and so if you did a G14 battle with all 4 of them, and they're all at Gear 14, you'll get 1,720 points. That's an extra 5,160 points over 3 wars. Again, nothing super significant, and that's also assuming that you have them at Gear 14 and you have Nico unlocked. So don't pay too much attention to this. It's not that important. What is important, and honestly, if you have... We talked about how X-Men is going to be super important, because I cannot stress this enough. This is super, super important. The numbers are here, and this is all additive. This is if you have Gear 14, 15, 16 X-Men. These scores are all additive on top of your score per character. So you're going to get 200 points, for a full group of characters that are non-X-Men, 250 for a full group of X-Men, but then you're going to get like significantly more, and it's going to start stacking if you have them up at Gear 14 and 15. So I've done some calculations if you have a Gear Tier 14 and 15 X-Men and how much points you're going to get. So this example here is full Gear 15 X-Men to raid win. So likely this is going to be Astonishing X-Men. This is a no-brainer. And what I personally recommend is dumbing down to Gamma 2. Tell your alliance leader, tell your alliance captains that, you know, the best way to get this event cleared is going to be running Gamma 2, which is unrestricted, and so you can run whoever you want every single node. But it has to be a raid win, and so I can't stress this enough, because you can't just like enter the match and back out or lose or whatever. It has to be a raid win, so people need to be on top of actually clearing their nodes. And if you had a full Gear 15 Astonishing X-Men or whatever X-Men team, you're going to get 1,850 points per win. That's a lot. And if you did 10 of these in a day, then you're going to get 18,500. That is absolutely batshit insane compared to the amount of total that you need. If you remember back here, 98,000 is what's left over. Okay, so that's a lot of points in a single day. Now, if you have Gear 14, you're going to get about 1,100, so it's less. If they're full Gear 14 and not 15, you're going to get less. This is about 1,100 points per raid win, and then over 10 wins, that's 11,000. So you can see the difference between Gear 14 and 15 is quite drastic. And, you know, I didn't do 13, I didn't do 16, because I think that this is reasonably, you know, if you're 13, you're going to be less than this. If you're going to be 16, you're going to be higher than this number here. But 11,000 to 18,500, you know, that's 7,500 difference per day. So you're in a very good position if you have a set of Gear 15 X-Men characters that you can raid in Gamma 2. And what does this really all mean? And actually, before I answer that one, look at the difference for just full X-Men team that's not Gear 13. That's 250 points per raid win, and only 2,500 points daily in 10 wins. Right? And so the number between 2,500 and 11,000, or 2,500 between 18,500 a day, is so drastic. So I can't stress enough that the gear on your X-Men characters are the most important thing to do for this event. And so the question is, if you have Gear 14, 15 X-Men, and you clear this pretty easily in 7 days, well, you know, that's it. You know, you won the game, you won the event. And that's really all you have to do. And you don't actually have to concern yourself about any of the other milestones, which is funny. You know, like, if you don't want to compete in the other milestones, you don't necessarily have to. There are rewards, of course, associated with the other milestones, and we're going to talk about that here in the video because we want to cover everything. But if you do have Gear 15 X-Men and you do this every single day, you could just do the raids and you'll clear it. And that's not even considering Doom Raid, because, you know, it has to be a Doom Raid win. It's just so much easier to do in Gamma. So sacrifice that one gold orb, do Gamma 2, use your X-Men characters, the best X-Men characters you can, and then it'll be really easy. So just do that. What other points are available? Well, we have the Bloodlines Blitz milestone points, and that's the 3 Blitz thing every 2 days. That's worth 8,000 milestone points. You can already see that that's like insignificant compared to the raid wins we just talked about. The Sister Grimm login calendar we also talked about, that was 8,000 points here. And then the Runaway spell milestone points, which is related to campaign energy spending, is 15,000. That's okay, but we're gonna talk about it, and it's actually fairly difficult to clear. And so what I want you to take away, if anything so far, is that raid wins with X-Men that are geared, are some of the most important things to do. And if you have them up, you're going to clear this no problem. But let's talk about the other milestones. Okay, so the Enchanted Bloodlines milestones, this is the Blitz milestone, and it's Blitz with Young Avengers. So the total points required for this is 58,000. You're going to get a total of 8,000 Sister Grimm milestone points like we talked about, but largely this doesn't even matter that much if you're able to do the raid stuff, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So you get 60 points for a Blitz Win manual, 40 for a Blitz Sim, and all of this additive score here if you're using Young Avengers at a particular tier, and I'll just add that in just in case people aren't clear about that one. And so I did some examples here. So if you did a Blitz with 5 Young Avengers, including Gear 14 Miles, I meant to say, including Miles means that he is also a Young Avengers member. So if you have Web Warriors upgraded, you could slot in Miles for some extra points. You're getting about 390 points per Blitz win with 5 Young Avengers at G14. Now, if you did this 10 times in one day, that would be about 3,900 points. Right, which is quite a bit. Now, this is like multiple rotations and maybe Blitz charges as well on them. Would get you about 3,900 points in a day. If you did 6 days of this, that would give you about 23,400 points, which is quite a bit compared to the total. But you still need to do quite a bit of extra more blitzing. Now, if they were all Gear 15, you can see this points almost doubles. 690 for 1 win, 6,900 for 10, and then over 6 days, that's 41,400. I think I said the number right, 41,400. So comparatively to the 58,000 that you need, again, you can almost clear this just on Young Avengers wins if you have them at really high score. But let's say you don't have Young Avengers built, and so I don't know what people have and what they don't have. The total amount of Blitz wins that you need to clear this is 1,450. All I had to do was divide 58,000 by 40, and that gave me 1,450. And so what that means is that you need about 242 Blitz wins per day. Every day, over 6 days, if you're not using Young Avengers or gear tiered Young Avengers essentially. And so what that means is that you need to do about 7 rotations. It's basically 7. I don't know why it says 6. Let's do that. 7 rotations at 35 Blitz wins to accomplish this event. So yes, if you don't have Young Avengers built up, this is going to be a very grindy Blitz event milestone. But like I said before, the only people who are going to be needing to do this are people who want the rewards from this milestone, and the people who don't have X-Men geared enough to clear it that way. And so that's why I want to pivot to this. This is the milestone for the Blitz stuff. Like, the question is, do you care about the rewards in this Blitz milestone, right? And for those people who have Gear 14 and 15 X-Men characters who can clear the main milestone through rating, basically, almost entirely through rating, do you care about the Blitz milestone? What's in here? Well, the Sister Grimm milestone points. You don't need that if you're rating with X-Men characters a lot. What else is in here? Some gear orb fragments, some gold orb fragments, a little bit of that. Not much, like 2 gold orbs maybe. Some catalyst stuff, some armory 16 orb fragments, 800 Elite 4 credits, and some Jessica Jones shards. There's actually not a lot in here, so I'm not sure if this is, unless you have to do this to make up the difference on the Sister Grimm milestone. Frankly, I'm not sure it's worth the blitzing. I actually don't think it's worth the rewards. The rewards look pretty jank. And I would not be doing this many Blitz rotations a day to fulfill the requirements for this milestone, because it seems like you don't have to. That you could almost skip this. As long as you're rating with X-Men, with high gear tier X-Men, you almost don't even need to concern yourself with this. And so that brings us to Milestone 3, the Runaway Spell milestone. And this is the campaign energy one. And even this one is really tricky. So the total milestone points required is 10,000 energy over 7 days. Okay, from this you get 15,000 Sister Grimm milestone points. Divided 10,000 by 7, you need 1,429 energy per day. It's highlighted in red because this is a lot. If you want to go to the penultimate milestone, which is the one just before the last one, you need 1079 energy per day, and that's also a lot. And so we have this here. And we'll zoom in a little. Oh fuck! I think my frame, it may be blocked here. Yeah, it is definitely blocked. Oh motherfucker. Well, okay. So down here below where my cursor is, milestone 39 is 7,500 points. Milestone, or 7,500 energy, and then the last one is 10,000. Okay. And I'll tell you that the last milestone, you can check it yourself, but the last milestone, the 10,000, is 1.25 Armory 16 orb and half an Elite 4 orb, Red Star orb. It's not a lot. So I would actually say that you don't really need to bother with going all the way to the end. I would, if you're going to do any energy, this runaway spell Milestone, I would actually aim for that penultimate Milestone. And so what does that mean? How do you get to these numbers, the 1071 and the 1429? Well, this is your kind of like free energy per day. You get 288, that's just your time-based energy. You get 240 from your free refreshes. You get 100 from your web milestones. And the coring, if you want to get 1429 a day, you need to core 7 times. And that's 500 cores daily. Okay, that'll get you 1468, which is enough to clear the milestone. Do you want to spend 500 cores a day on campaign energy when you have the Phantom X event coming up? Probably not, right? And so here's what you can do if you want to clear the 1071, is that you could do 5 core refreshes, which is about 300 cores a day. And that'll give you 600 extra energy instead of the 840, and that'll make up the difference here, basically, to get to milestone 39. And so the choice is yours, or not, right? Like I said, you don't have to do this, because if you remember, as long as you're doing the raid stuff from way up here, then you can clear the main Sister Grimm milestone, which is super important. The main milestone is more important than any of the other milestones, in my opinion, and as long as you can do the raid stuff, you could essentially ignore milestone 2 and 3 if you don't care about the rewards that exist in those milestones. And I think I may. I honestly think that I'm going to be saving my cores for Phantom X, but not in this event. I'm not going to be using my cores for energy for this event because I'm just going to rely on my X-Men raid wins. But if you're a newer player, or you're someone who does not have a full block of X-Men G14 or 15, then you may have to engage in these other milestones. And that's kind of why I wanted to do all 3 of the milestones. I didn't want to just do milestone 1 here and just say, just do this and then call it a video. Because I want to share, what you can do and what other options there are if you can't do this. And so for this, the energy milestone, it does include the daily web milestone at 100, just to be clear about that. And then these are all the sources of energy that you can get that's available to you. Now, 500 cores daily is just really, it's not something that I would do. I don't even know if I would do 300 cores daily either to get to that penultimate milestone. So if you can raid to get the score, then I would do that instead. And that's my personal advice here. If you can rely on clearing this milestone through raids, I would do that. But if you can't, then obviously you're going to have to engage a little bit in some of these other milestones, because this is the main one here. This is the Sister Grimm milestone, and this is the most important one. Not only does it have the A-Force emblems, it has the Nico staff down here at 49,500. There's the 5-star red Captain Marvel at 20, which pretty early on actually, at 25,500. And you're getting a lot better stuff in general. You're getting a full Elite 5 credit, again, below my damn frame here. But there's an Elite, why can't I zoom out properly? Because you still can't see the bottom. This is so dumb. Anyways, now you can see it a little bit. Oh my god. There's a full Elite 5 credit orb here at the bottom here. And that's also where you're going to get the 50 Nico Minoru shards. So if you don't clear this, you're not going to get the 4-star Nico Minoru. You're also not going to get that Elite 5 orb, and you're not going to get all this augmented teal catalyst and stuff. But it's actually a fairly simple and easy to complete event, and you will come away with a 4-star Nico Minoru if you have the proper tools available to you, which in this case is going to largely come under the raids with X-Men. If you can't, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. You're going to have to jump through a little bit more hoops to clear this. So that's the event. That's the end of this Sister Grimm milestone event video. I hope it was helpful. I will have this available up on my Discord. This also will be available in the description below on YouTube. And I just need to add a logo on here so people can't copy and pass off my information as somebody else. So that's it. Hope this helps. Look forward to the event. Raid your ass off with X-Men characters. And if you can't, that's unfortunate. And I don't have a whole lot of extra advice for you. You'll have to complete the other milestones to bridge the gap there on your points. So, yes, best of luck, everyone. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.